Hi, I'm Danny Ecker with your Chicago Business Today Midday Report. In an op-ed today for Crain's, Mayor Emanuel lays out plans to help kickstart small business in Chicago by reducing red tape. He writes about accomplishments his administration has under its belt so far and specifically points to oncoming efforts to help Chicago's restaurant industry. Here to weigh in on the mayor's column is Crain's assistant managing editor and small business blogger, Ann Dwyer. You're pretty tapped in with the small business community here. How key are the issues that Mayor Emanuel addressed today?
I think for some entrepreneurs around Chicago, these are very key issues, especially for restaurateurs. These entrepreneurs have complained for years about a regime of City Hall inspections and licensing procedures that are really onerous. And I think that at least restaurateurs and people who depend on that industry are probably going to find some relief in this latest package of reforms.
And what's been the pulse so far of small business owners when it comes to the things that Mayor Emanuel's administration has done so far on this front during his tenure?
I think I'm hearing some cautious optimism out there, some encouragement. I think a lot of people are still kind of waiting to see how these reforms will really look in the real world. You know, I think that's really the proof in the pudding, you know, how these inspectors actually do their jobs after these reforms are put in place. But that said, I think, you know, for the most part, even some of the administration's most ardent small business critics have told me that they're encouraged by some of the, especially last month, the mayor unveiled a package of new reforms, cutting business licenses by 60%. These latest inspection reforms, I think, are only going to improve the climate.
Right, and those licenses obviously will take into effect next year, so we'll see what happens then. But are there any needs that maybe the mayor is missing, or from what you hear, what is sort of the next front? What is it that small business here in Chicago really needs from city government?
I think it'll be interesting to see how other sectors in the economy step up and what kinds of reforms they demand. I mean, so far the restaurateurs have reason to be happy, but I think retailers, maybe even manufacturers, are probably going to be stepping up to City Hall and now saying, where's ours? I do think that manufacturers in particular are going to be a tough group to satisfy. I mean, it's easy enough, I think, to cut back on signage rules and how many parking spaces you might need in front of your building, that sort of thing, for retailers and restaurateurs, but manufacturers' needs are a little trickier to meet. We'll see how City Hall delivers.
Sure, manufacturers need to focus more on production these days.
Right.
All right, Ann, thanks for the time.
Thank you.